you are quoted in a newspaper report recently as asking the Senate President, Lawan, to step forward and contest for the position of presidency in 2023. Sir, is the report a true reflection of what you actually said? Or is it what you intend to say? You also reported as canvassing for Senator FATAI to step forward and contest for governorship position in 2023, negating what your people in the zone stood for, that it's high time one of their own occupy Agudi House called 2023. Yes, sir. What exactly did you say about the two prominent Nigerians at Abuja during your closing visit, when people from your zone paid the courtesy call on the Senate President regarding your agitation for Federal University of Federal University of Agriculture, recited in
I'm very grateful to you. First, let me say that nobody mentioned 2023. 2023 did not feature at all. We were on a courtesy visit to the Senate President after the public hearing on the Federal University of Agriculture bill proposed to be cited in Okiogun area. And during our visit to the Senate President, we thanked him and we urged him to ensure that the bill is not only passed, but implemented and assented to by the President, and that we hope in future, perhaps when it is the turn of the Northeast to produce the President of Nigeria, God Almighty may smile on him, and he can become Nigerian President, and he will be a visitor to the university. And if fortune smiles on our Senator Buhari, why not? He can also become governor. This is without prejudice to the aspiration of Okiogun people to have somebody to be in Agodi. But you see, 2023, there was nothing like that at all. Asking him to come out to contest, no, it was just a prayer wish, which is in order and appropriate. Having regards to what Senator Buhari has done, for him to have pushed this bill to this stage, we have had 3 Okiogun indigenes as senators. None of them, I repeat, none of them ever pushed a bill of this nature to this extent. So Senator Buhari deserves to be commended. And this is not to say that Okiogun's yearnings are not to be respected. I want an Okiogun son or Okiogun daughter to be the governor of Oyo State. But that is not to detract or subtract from the role, eminent role, noble role of FATAI Buhari has played. He deserves to be commended. Yeah.
Sir, Okiogun story has always been that of tragedy. Do you subscribe to this notion?
I do not think it is that of tragedy. I think it is more of there are external factors, there are internal factors. And I believe the less we talk about the internal factors, the better, so that we can look inward and correct few areas, which for the sake of strategy, one should not be advertising on a forum like this. And with respect to the external factors, there is no point to make more enemies or get more aggressive against people or castigate some people as being the cause or whatever, but to engage in constructive dialogue with all parts of the state so that a better understanding and an enduring charter of equity may be struck or arrived at or negotiated in the best interest of all of us.
Do you think?
Yes, yes. Let them go inside.
Sir, there's one thing that is that has been bothering some of us on the At present, sir, there's no proper council for oilers that can sneeze and the whole of the state of Nigeria will catch cold. So, what do you think is negative in this? And how best can people from Okeogun put such council into place?
The matter has been addressed, and the less we talk about in the open, the better for the Okeogun sons and daughters.
Sir, now that you have cleared the air on the issue of what you are reported or you honestly said at Abuja, what would you want to say about the agitation of Okeogun plan to occupy AHMED in 2020?
It's a just agitation, but we should negotiate it very well, and we should create an understanding, or we should seek understanding of the other parts of the states, particularly the major blocks. And when I mean the major block, the Ibadan elements and what have you, so that it won't be seen as somebody trying to take power to hurt others or to score cheap points, but just on the ground of and the charter of. So it's a just agitation.
Sir, I'm just taking a tour of your library. Impressed with what I saw. But I'm impressed with the quality of service you render to the sons and daughters of people. Sir, what or when should other parts of the group like Shaki expect this kind of thing?
As God smiles and we are blessed, we will do more for the entire humanity, not just to be used in the service of mankind. But to your question, as is an ongoing thing, and by the grace of God, we'll extend it to all parts.
Sir, in the past, only a few people practiced it. How different is it today?
How
different is it today compared to the past? But only few of our people practice it in the past and today.
Well, the landscape is getting wider, and God Almighty, I think, is smiling, and the understanding is becoming more robust, and the opportunities are becoming wider. The world is becoming a global village, and subject to some little impediments, Okeogun is getting there in terms of the law practice and in terms of number of lawyers and professionals and what have you. So we are getting there.
Yeah, legal profession, what are the prospects?
Prospect? Well, it is an enduring profession. Whether in the sun or in the rain, in the dark or in the light, legal profession remains one of those professions that will always be relevant till the end of the world. So the opportunities are there, legion, but there has to be the right economic environment for it to thrive well. Yeah.
So let's move away from Okeogun issues. Let's discuss some national issues. So the House of Representatives recently released an alarm over some data clauses in one of the commercial law agreement signed between Nigeria and Export and Import Bank of China, which allegedly will the sovereignty of Nigeria in the 400 million loan for the National Information and Communication Technology ICT infrastructure project signed in 2018. Sir, what can you say about this? And how best can the country avoid such deadly forces pitfall in its future dealings?
Well, although I have not seen the agreement signed by the government, I believe for external loans, before it is signed, there must be approval of the National Assembly. So if a loan, an external loan, is not sanctioned by the National Assembly, I think whoever the creditors is, the document void if they are not careful. and it's not going to be enforceable against the Nigerian state if the approval of the National Assembly is not sought and taken, because they have a duty to ensure that the approval of the National Assembly is sought and obtained. Now, for future purposes, I think the National Assembly should be more vigilant, and whenever there is an application by any government, be it the federal or the state government, for an external loan, they should call for the terms and conditions of such loan before an approval is given. They should not just be given a blanket approval. Because in this case, what they are saying is that the creditor, not only will he be able to lay his hand or her hand on the assets developed by the loan, but any other asset where the one developed by the loan or built by the loan is depreciated, in which case no asset is safe. So I believe we have to be cautious, but we should not have a development that is going to hurt our sovereignty, whereby in the nearest future, foreigners will take over our key assets, and then there we are, going back to a second colonization by our own hands, not by conquest now, by our own hands, freely inviting second colonization, freely inviting second colonization, freely negotiating ourselves into a second colonization. We have to tread carefully and very cautiously. We should be very careful. National Assembly should be more vigilant, and I believe their oversight should be emphasized, and we should thank them for raising this and letting the public know that, look, this kind of an error is in the document.
Sir, as a lawyer of refuge and senior advocate of Nigeria for that matter, which aspect of Nigerian law would you like the legislative, the judicial council, and executive to look into with a view to amending such laws for the betterment of institutions like EFCC to make them more functional institutions?
I think we have enough laws. It's just the spirit for the implementation that is lacking. The criminal laws are adequate. We go by the letters. We lose the spirit. And any nation that jokes with the spirit of the law cannot have the best result at the end of the day. It is not just the spirit. It is not just the letter, but the spirit behind the law should also be adhered to strictly. I think what Nigerian system needs right now is not just observing the letters, but the spirit of the laws, because we have good laws. It is only in respect of implementation that we are failing in adhering to the spirit of the law.
Sir, I want you to listen to this quotation in respect of the Georgia from our governor in the national academy.
Who's the governor?
Our governor, or just
okay.
In the national academy. I want you to hear your reaction to it. This is the quotation. So I promise that once we came in, I will go to Georgia and ensure that within 1 year in office, your state must go into freshwater stream farming. So I came in and we started all the work. At that time, Baba late Chief Bode Akindele invited me to his house at Adonaja. And I was with him for about 2 hours that day. He tore all my ideas into pieces. He told me of the challenges he went through when he was into stream thing. And we have committed a lot of resources for your state into that effort. After I left Baba, I went back home and called some of those that are close to me. And I told them that Baba had succeeded in tearing our ideas into pieces. And as a result, we will not go ahead with this. So I lost. And then we went back to the drawing board. Doing a lot more research to see if this can still be done in a way that will be beneficial to your state. Because I was looking for the opportunity to win the argument with Baba. that Baba answered the call of God. So I acknowledge that I lost the argument with Baba. And there's nothing I can do anymore. That was our greatest governor engineer day for closing our dream of seeing Ikere George coming to life. As an advocate of Ikere George, yeah. So what can you say about this, about the governor's submission?
Well, His Excellency, the Governor of Oyo State, let us first of all commend him for looking towards the direction of Ikere George Dam, because the dam is not a state project, it's a federal government project. It is the federal government that has to complete that project and should first of all go to the federal government to complete the dam, which they started as far back as 1981, about the largest dam in the southern part of Nigeria. And it started with about 6 other farms. All the rest are functional today throughout the country, and it's the only one that is outstanding. Now for His Excellency to have even thought about doing something about it, all he said is that his idea of doing some projects there has been shut down based on some impediments which he never factored in. And he gave an indication that he's going back to the drawing board. So our prayer is the drawing board should reveal something that will push the matter forward. But most importantly, I will appeal to His Excellency, the very affable, lovable Governor of Oyo State, to please engage the Federal Ministry of Water Resources so that they can come and complete that dam. They should use all extra-legal, extra-governmental measures, all the goodwill of who is who in Oyo State to ensure that the Honorable or the federal government is persuaded to come and complete Ikere George Dam. We need all hands on the deck, and we should not read negative meanings into what His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Oyo State, said. I commend him for even thinking about it, and I commend him for even coming out to tell us why he has changed his mind, and I commend him for saying that the matter is still on board. I mean, it's just gone back to the drawing board. He did not foreclose it completely.
Do you want to speak on this Muslim Christian dichotomy?
On where?
Muslim Christian dichotomy.
In Okugu.
What advice do you have for Muslims and Christians to live in harmony?
Ask it.
Sir, do you think much impact? No. Now that you are let me just put it, sir, this Christian-Muslim dichotomy that has eaten deep into the fabrics of people from sir, what can you say about this? But I think, from my own perspective, it's been militating against the unity, much needed unity from this zone.
The battle has been attended to. We were with the Okere. Okere is a very good Muslim. And we were with the Aro of Aguare, who is a very good Christian. And we had useful discussions. That is not, I mean, I think it's ignorance, poverty, largely due to ignorance. That is the cause of all this. With good understanding and dialogue, all that will be a thing of the past. So I don't see religion as an impediment. Chief Awolowo ruled Western region. Nobody thought about Christianity or Islam. And he established the first Muslim Pilgrim Welfare Board in the whole of the country, and he did a whole lot for some of his lieutenants are Muslims and what have you. So, and in Yoruba race, under the Yoruba race, it is not the religion that matters. It is what you have, the stuff you are made of. What quality of service are you ready to render? What are your programs? Not what you call what your religion. Yeah, it's personal thing for you to be a good Muslim, to be a good Christian, but I don't think Yoruba race has, we don't put religion on the front burner. Thank you very much. Thank you.